You are now tuned into the We Are Gunsmith podcast, the world's #1 podcast. Or at least they think so. Sit back. It's gonna be lit beyond comprehension.
What's going on, guys? James Mooney here, back at it again. Another podcast. I appreciate each and every single one of you for tuning in, checking it out, leaving a 5-star review, obviously. You guys make this run, you know? Without you guys, there would be really no point in doing this because, I'd still want to do it because it's cool, get to talk to some amazing people, but it would definitely not be as worthwhile if it wasn't for you guys. So I appreciate each and every one of you. And hopefully you told a friend to check it out too. Anyway, enough BS. Let's get going here. So I actually just got back from the Mr. Olympia Expo this past weekend. That was fun. If you were in town, hopefully I saw you guys. I was walking around the expo with a couple athletes of ours and having a good time. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I enjoyed the Olympia Expo as much. I think it's got a different vibe to it than kind of some of the other expos. Like, I really enjoy the Arnold. LA Fit is a ton of fun. The Olympia just has a weird vibe now lately, the last couple of years. I don't know what it is. There's not as many smaller companies. It's a lot of really big companies that take up a lot of booth space. So I don't know. It also seems like there's not a lot of there was a lot of fitness personalities and whatnot that didn't go to the Olympia this year. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is behind that. Maybe they're like me and they're not a huge Vegas fan. Who knows? But yeah, it was a fun expo. I got to meet some great Gunsmith supporters. That was awesome. Got to connect with a lot of cool people, a lot of networking that went down. So it was a worthwhile experience. Had some fun. Got to see Big Sean and Pusha T perform. That was pretty cool. But yeah, it was an awesome experience. Lifted at the Lift Factory, which was a first. I usually go to Las Vegas Athletic Club, but this was the first time I checked out the Lift Factory in Vegas. Shout out to them because it was an awesome gym. Highly recommended if you're visiting Vegas to go check out the Lift Factory. But yeah, it was a good trip overall. And now I need to recharge, get back on track, and kill shit. Anyway, so today's episode is actually pretty cool. We're joined by a guy that I know named Ryan Milton. And some of you may know him off of social media. He's got a large following on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all the social medias. And he's a really cool, super informative, knows his shit kind of dude. He's known online as Team FFlex, 2 Fs, Team FFlex. And he's got a massive online coaching business. And he just puts out a ton of great info. He's a really good resource, got a lot of experience in the training industry, and I enjoyed talking to him. It was a really cool conversation. We talked about a lot of awesome things, how he got his start in the online coaching, kind of how he sees online coaching going even into the future, how, taking over the marketplace, and maybe brick and mortar personal trainers aren't going to be around, 5-10 years down the road here, and how everything's kind of going on social media and onto your iPhone. We talk about that a lot. Then we talk about some things, outside of coaching. We talk about, business related things, time management, goal setting, moving, the consistency over time. There's really no such thing as like an overnight success. Even with his business, it took years of behind the scenes, work before things started to pay off. And a lot of people maybe don't have the patience or the consistency to actually see those goals achieve themselves. So we talk about that, and it's a fascinating conversation. We talk about a lot of, I think there's a lot of good gems in here and takeaways that you can take away into your life and and kind of absorb and hopefully implement into your life and your business and your training. I think there's a lot of cool stuff in here. We talk about some nutrition as well, if it fits your macros, his stance on that, and how he kind of prepares his clients in terms of, their diet in that regards. And then we talk about, some of the downsides of social media and everybody being a prep coach. And, maybe there's not as much knowledge out there as there should be. And so we talk about a lot of cool things. And so I'm really stoked for it. It's a really good episode. Stay tuned. Check it out. I think you guys will like it. On the line with Ryan Milton, six-figure coach.
That's right. Yep. Team Flex.
What's going on, brother?
Not a lot, man. Just, another day in the office.
Yeah, right? Another day on the grind. Were you at the Olympia this weekend?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah, good time.
Yeah, I'm trying
You were there too.
Trying to recover from that. Yeah, it's a bummer we didn't meet up, but fuck, got crazy.
I know. Well, man, that's how it always goes at those things, right? It's just going. So next time for sure. Did you have a good time or what?
Oh man, it was. I mean, I don't know. Vegas is cool, but I don't think the Olympia is my favorite expo. I mean, it's cool, right. But it's it's got a different vibe than the other ones. Like, I was just at the Arnold back in March, and that I was there too. Certain vibe, and then LA Fit's fun too, and I don't know. It's just a different crowd.
Yeah, I think it's because it's mainly like the end of the year expo, So
yeah, everyone's kind of worn down, and
everybody's tired. They're eating too much shit, and then it's Vegas, so they're drinking at night, getting out.
Oh yeah, you're just wrecked. I mean, I think I got in there at like 11, and my buddies were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go out, get a couple drinks, and just kind of, get some food." And I was like, "Oh man!" And then we ended up being out till like 3, and I was like, "Shit, we gotta go to the expo in the morning. This is not a good look."
Right, that's what happens. Yeah, every time, man, every time.
But you're actually in Vegas, so it's like not as much of a novelty, I guess.
Oh yeah, not for me, man. So actually, that's part of the reason I am in Vegas is for that expo. Like, I came out here one time on a whim.
Right.
Like, it was coming out, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna drive down," because I used to live in NorCal.
Okay.
So jetted down here, came to the expo, and then I was like, to experience Vegas for the first time because of the Olympia, basically. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna move down here because there's a lot going on out here.
You just got hooked, huh?
Yeah, basically, man.
How long you been in Vegas then?
About a year. What month is it right now? About I think a year, a little over a year and a half.
Right on.
Yeah.
Loving it?
Yeah, man, it's good. I mean, there's you can do whatever you want here, Like, it's just kind of the way it is. Things are coming through all the time. Everything's 24 hours. I can go to the gym whenever I feel like, like everything that I value in life is going all the time here.
Right. Yeah. There's no downtime really. Yeah. I guess that's a blessing and a curse. I mean, you can get overwhelmed easily out there too, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's good though, probably for your business though, because like Vegas, everyone's trying to stay in shape. There's a lot of gyms, badass gyms out there. It's probably pretty helpful. Plus social media now, you can do pretty much business anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, that's the main thing. A lot of conferences and stuff, conventions, seminars, whatever, they all roll through town and you can jump in. Things like the Olympia, right? Like, it's right here in the back door. I don't have to go anywhere, fly anywhere, make any trips. I can hit a lot of things that come through town. And, my coaching is all online. So for the most part, I don't do any in-gym coaching, but it is good for that.
Right on. So how'd you get into that whole, because that's like, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, like that wasn't even really like a career path. Like, I mean, you could do a little bit of online coaching, maybe through email and stuff, but now it's like, it's actually legit big business. Like people are making lots of money.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy. So basically I started up around that time frame that you're talking about, years ago. I was doing the gig as a trainer in the beginning at the gym, kind of average everyday gym trainer, doing the kind of 9 to 5, whatever. Right. And I was starting to think about like, how can I make things bigger, right? Because if you're training in a gym, you get a cap eventually.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
100%.
Like, you can only train at 10 hours a day or 8. You can only do so many split shifts and mesh with so many, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. I used to do the corporate personal trainer gig, and it's you can keep taking on clients, but at a certain point there's no more, there's a cap on how much you can make every year.
Yeah, and then there's also like a cap to your health and your well-being and how much sleep you get, and then how much time you want to spend on your own workouts, and
Exactly.
So I was like, how the hell do I keep growing? How do I keep helping people? How do I keep doing this? And so I started thinking about the online thing because, I saw the trend early on that like people, these days are born with iPhones in their hands and shit like that.
Yeah.
So like I was like, okay, how long is it going to be before people like stop even considering going to a gym to get a trainer? Like a lot of people are probably going to like, kids of the next generation, whatever, are going to wake up and be Googling shit like, how do I burn fat? How do I build muscle? Exactly. What do I need to do for my workout? Can I do it at home? Can I do it in the park? And then I was like, okay, so what do I need to do is I need to get out into this network where everybody's going to have access to it. Mm-hmm. Like stop spending time trading time, basically like one client, 1 hour, and find a way to train as many people as I could on my own time.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. I mean, it's it's what you're getting out of the time that you're putting into it. I mean, yeah, you're helping one person, but in that same hour, like maybe you could impact 50 people, you know, through a YouTube video or some shit.
Exactly, man. Yeah. So that's kind of how it all got started.
Right on. So you got in kind of early then, before it
blew
up.
I mean, it didn't really catch on for a long time though, to be honest, man. It's not like the overnight success story, you know, a lot of people talk about. I've been building and doing trial and error and doing all kinds of different stuff, you know, with the coaching for years before it even really took off. And like it took off mainly, I'd say about like a year and a half to 2 years ago, like when I came out to Vegas, right around that time frame. That was literally like me jumping out of the gym scene permanently and saying I was going to go all in on online. And that's when it actually took off, was because I think it was just full focus. Right. Like, got to get this shit done. I actually called my mom even, and I told her, I was like, Mom, I'm going all in on training. I quit my job because like I was at the top of the line for personal trainer. Like I was a personal trainer and a fitness director. I was making good money, like, you know, way more than the normal everyday trainer gets. Right. And I dropped that job and I was like, I'm fucking going all in on this online stuff. So I'm either going to be homeless or I'm going to succeed. And if I go homeless, do not help me. Like those were my words to my mom. Let me struggle. Let me figure it out. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. And then since then it's grown and keeps growing. Yeah.
So for those like first 4 or 5 years, you were kind of still doing the in-gym stuff as well as trying to launch the personal brand online?
Yeah, man. So it was like, it was doing the daily hustle, 8 to 10, right? Like getting up at 3:30 in the morning, going to work, first client at 4, train till like 9 or 10, have a little break, which is not enough time to go anywhere or do anything. So then you're right back from like noon to whatever. Then there's another little break. So I'd be in the gym basically training people, whether it would be teams or one-on-one or in small group from like 4 in the morning until like 8 or 9 at night. You know what I mean? And then I get off, go home, and then I try to do this online shit, hustle for like 2 or 3 hours, go to sleep, do it again. Yeah. And like that was years, man. So.
Oh, man. Yeah. There's no such thing as that overnight success, no matter what people preach about. And
I know. Yeah. A lot of people preach that shit too. It's crazy. But.
So what do you think kind of, so you just spent more time with it. That's kind of what kind of set you over the edge, you think?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it really took me going all in on it was the thing. It was like, I need to go all in right here, because when you're splitting your energy anywhere, I mean, you're getting subpar results all over. That's basically how I felt like in every avenue of my life. Like I'd maxed out where I was at. Like I couldn't go any further. I was basically running this gym, you know, running the training, running teams, doing all this, making as much as you could make. And then, you know, on the side trying to get this to go, but like it can't go if you can't put enough time there. And then, you know, even my personal stuff, like my own workouts and like I didn't want to stay in the gym and do more stuff even there. Like, even though I train all the time every day anyway, it was not enjoyable. And so I was like, I'm just getting subpar results all around here. So what is it going to take is a real radical change. Like, I'm going to get in here and just mix this shit up. I'm going to force myself basically to succeed in this, or at least give it like a really good run.
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of sometimes, I don't know, they fail to do that. They fail to go all in because they're scared of, because there is that, you're either going to make it or you're not going to make it. Like, it's one of those, it's the same thing. You're going all in. It's either all success or you're going to struggle. You're going to end up back at the mom's house or something.
Right. Exactly.
And a lot of people get scared to do that because of there's all that risk involved, but it makes a huge difference. I did kind of the same thing last year when we opened our facility. I quit my job and I focused fully on the brand and fully on the facility that we were building, and I couldn't have done that if I had just stayed at my other job and kind of done this on the side.
Yeah, that's the same thing I encountered. Basically, I finally decided there was no way to keep the balance of both. A lot of people want to do that. They want to keep the safe option because that's basically what it was. It was like the comfort of the paycheck. And it was the comfort of like, oh, it's not my business anyway. So, if a client's come in and out, I'm not going to be the one that falls. But I think it takes having to say like, I'm going all in on this, because then when you do that, when you make that commitment, that's when you can actually produce the results you need to produce. Right. Otherwise, if you got a plan B, it distracts you from the plan A.
Yeah. You're always like, well, if this doesn't work out, I can fall back on that. It'll still work out in the end.
Yeah.
How you liking that? It's obviously a lot more freedom, but it's also a ton more pressure on you overall. Like, you got that daily struggle.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, dude, like, I love it. Like, I can't even fathom that it's reality, to be honest. Like, thinking back 2-3 years ago, when I was doing that 9 to 5, because like as a trainer, there was a good amount of time where I didn't enjoy that job per se. I enjoyed training people, and I enjoyed, giving people results and helping them get to their goals. That I always enjoyed, but I never was like, into the whole kind of being stuck for somebody else, being stuck like in another person's gym, following their rules, doing it this way, doing it that way. You know what I mean? Like being stuck to a schedule 100%. And not having the freedom to do what I wanted to do with it. Yeah. So, then getting into this online space, I mean, you control the entire world, man. Like that's literally it. Like your life is controlled by you at that point. Right. Like get up when you want, do what you want. Yeah. Produce what you want.
It's a lot more freedom.
Yeah. And like I can coach from anywhere in the world. That's the crazy thing. If I got this phone that we're doing this video on, or like I got my computer, laptop, whatever, I can go anywhere. So now I have freedom to travel. You can do whatever I need to do, wherever I need to be, basically. And there's no holds barred. Like it's kind of crazy to think about that. Like I could jump ship and like go hang out in Hawaii for a few days or something like that if it felt like it. And my business doesn't take a hit. Nobody's going to close the doors. Nothing's happening.
You're still able to run and not miss a beat. Yeah, that's the nice thing about nowadays. Like there's that whole social media platform has just changed the game for everybody.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Do you experience like an issue? Because now since it's such a big market, it's like so saturated. Like everybody's an online coach now. It seems like you can't go on Instagram without finding somebody. They did one show and they're an online coach now. Message me for programs, kind of.
Right. I talk a lot of shit about that.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Especially, I used to do like the men's physique and bodybuilding type stuff a couple years back before I got more into powerlifting. But and I'd see it all the time. I'd do a show with a guy, and then like 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, I look at that guy's profile. And he's like, "Oh, DM me for coaching plans or meal plans." It's like, holy shit, man.
Right.
He didn't even look good at the show.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that happens a lot, man. I mean, I talk a lot of shit about that, to be honest. Yeah. But the truth is, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. Because while it's so saturated, there's very few people that perform. Right. Like, there's very few people that can produce results in the long term. So most of them come out, they get slaughtered, and then it's easier for me to clean up. Right. You know what I mean? Because like, that's basically what happens. Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. They're just out here spitting the same plan they had or giving one meal plan over and over. And like, people, for one, don't want to pay for that. They don't want the same plan that everybody else gets. And for two, once they see it's not producing the results it did for this guy or that girl, then they're out anyway. Yeah. And, then to the business side of things, even more so, I think a lot of these people that can throw a simple line in their Instagram bio, like get my plan or whatever, have no idea how to run a business. So, true. Then it leads to them falling no matter what.
Right. There's a lot more to it than just email and a PayPal kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I think a lot of people think, and why there's so many of them is they think it's a quick buck. But if you don't get out here to do the work, you're going to fall anyway. So, right. For me, I mean, it's I don't consider a lot of people my competition per se. Like there's a lot of people out there, but they're going to be, to some degree, always at a different level than I will, because just the amount of effort and the work that I put into it to make sure that I'm not going to end up like those people. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Do you end up doing a lot more like weight loss? Or are you doing a lot of prep coaching, or what do you end up being majority of your business, you think?
Yeah. So, I mean, I got a lot of competitors. I do a lot of contest prep. That was an important thing to me. I do a lot of lifestyle stuff too. So muscle building, weight loss, fat loss. I coach some powerlifters, Spartan racers. I coach all kinds of people because basically, like, the way that I do everything, it's 100% custom. Yeah. Like, I build every program that I do from scratch. So the way it works is through like an actual app on your phone. Like, that's how you get coaching. I don't do email shit. I never understood that, but a lot of people do like the PDF program back and forth. Yeah. That's crazy to me. Like, I do an app. So like, let's say you were going to get a coaching program. You come in, you're going to go through a consultation, you get all this stuff done. Tell me all your goals, tell me all your health history, whatever. So like, I'm looking at real shit for one, like not just throwing some random thing at you. Then I build you the plan, and all you got to do is check into the app, and it's all there. So like, you'd have workouts on how to do everything. You can track your sets, your reps, your weights. You can do progress pictures, body stats. You can monitor your nutrition in there, like sync it with MyFitnessPal, do all these kind of things. And all that info comes back to me too. Oh, wow. So like, I can log in on my side and see, oh, okay, James doing this today. Oh, he did that. Oh, he got a new PR. He didn't. Oh, he skipped his fucking 5th meal. What happened? You know, like that kind of shit. So then I'm able to coach that way and be like, what's going on? What's working? Doing check-ins, adaptations, all those kind of things. So like to that degree of just effort, most people that throw the Instagram bio tag up got none of that on me.
Oh my
anyway.
God. No, yeah. Right alone. As soon as you said app, it's like 99% of people gone right there.
Exactly, right? That's the thing. That's the differentiating factor. And I mean, that's catching on a lot more right now. A lot of online coaches are starting to do the app thing, but still, like, at the end of the day, I think it comes down to your work ethic when you bring, you know, what you bring to the table.
Right. The whole app thing is phenomenally, like, complex. Like, you can go crazy with it nowadays. Like, there's so many different, like you said, you can track the food, you can track everything. Like sleep, it's right. You can take it super nerdy if you wanted to.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Sync your Fitbit and all this shit or whatever.
Oh man, do you have a background in that, or you contracting out to people for that, or?
Yeah, so actually there was a service that started up around the same time I was getting into it, where it was real like beginner style, trying to do the same kind of idea, basically like develop an app for trainers to use that they could do online training with, right? Yeah. And so, like, I got into that early, so that enabled me to get a lot of the stuff that, you know, got my app going. Yeah. Now there's a ton of services that are like that. Like, people listening to this right now, they could be my future competition because they could go get some of this shit and do it. But the truth is, you know, it comes down to what you put into it, I think, at the end of the day. But there's a lot of services now where you can get in, you can design workouts, you can add clients, you can do a lot of stuff. A lot of them are really, like, in the kind of baby stages of where they're going to be. Like none of them are good. Like none of them are perfect. None of them are really dialed yet, but it's definitely the way of the future. And that's also why I went all the way in on it when I did, was because I was like, this is for sure the foreseeable future for me as a trainer. Like I expect trainers in gyms in the next like 5 to 10 years to be gone. Like they won't even be around to the degree they are, where they're going to sit there with a client one-on-one and do this type of stuff. Just for the fact that, like, you can't make money as a trainer. Mm-hmm. So even if you're good, you won't be able to sustain a living, right? You're going to have to be spread out doing other things. You're not going to enjoy it. And then with the fact that you don't make money, I see a lot of trainers, like, I go to a lot of different gyms in Vegas for fun and stuff, and I see a lot of trainers becoming real complacent.
Yeah,
like, they're not.
Easy. It's easy to
They're sitting there texting and shit. They're, like, they're talking to their friends while their person's doing a workout. You know, like, they're not even worth paying to some degree. It's like, that's crazy that somebody's even paying for that. So, like, then you start thinking about what are they actually paying for? It's the accountability. It's the workouts. It's the nutrition. That can all come from not standing in a gym with someone.
Yeah, you don't need somebody over your shoulder 24/7 to do that.
Yep. So then I'm like, okay, well, that's going to happen. And then how are people going to look for results? Like I was telling you, you know, the next generation, I don't think anybody's going to a brick and mortar to try to figure out fitness. I think they're going to go right on their phones, and they're going to want something quick and easy and accessible right there. So then I'm like, well, 5 to 10, we'll see if anybody's around anymore. But like I saw the industry dying when I left it. I was crazy. Like to see, even if you were like really good, if you were really passionate about it, if you knew all your shit, you could still only cap right here at this level.
Oh yeah. Especially at those, unless you're owning your own facility, you know, because you're still paying out to the gym. You're paying out to, you know, your insurance or whatever. You're paying out all this money. So you're split on that, you know, $50-$60 session is, you know, much smaller now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what a lot of people don't realize either, right?
Plus there's a huge push now for all these like these key card gyms, like I don't know, like even Planet Fitness, which is $20 a month or whatever, and you can go in 24 hours. Like people are working out like at weird times now, so the app makes total fucking sense moving forward.
Right, yeah, you just hit it when you want, right? Exactly. If one day something doesn't go as planned, move your workout.
Exactly. How are you structuring your days then? So since you're, you know, since you have all that freedom, since you all your business is online, like how do you structure that out? Because it's easy to kind of, you know, I'll push this off till later kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally, man. So I follow a schedule that is basically like a religion. Like that's the only way I can describe it. Like if you look at my schedule, I'm sure yours is the same, but like it's got a block for everything all day. Every single part of my business, every single part of everything I want to do. Like I start my day every day at 3:30 or 4 in the morning. I'm going to the gym first thing. Like that's kind of when I go. I still start at that time, even though which is funny because like I hated that before when I was doing it at gyms. But now I do it when I don't even have to, just for like the reason to gain momentum and get the day going, you know, and roll out. And now actually you probably get this too, like being online and stuff. having clients all around the world, like I can be getting hit with texts or messages or all this all the time. So it's like, that's a nice window of time where nobody's going to come at me as much, you know?
You can get your workout done in peace, kind of get settled and motivated for the day.
Yeah, so I start with that, and then I come back to my house, and like I'll get into coaching then. I'll answer messages. I'll coach for a few hours, which just basically involves me checking out programs, checking out progress, adjusting, getting new people set up, whatever it is. Then I'm doing content stuff, you know, doing different things where I'm putting out YouTube, podcasts, you know, articles, whatever kind of random shit I'm working on, basically. And like everything has a sequence, so that's like the whole thing. It's like gotta have a step by step to get here to there to all the way around, you know. So
yeah, that's crucial. That the biggest thing that I've noticed when going into business, like where I'm working for myself now, is the time management. I think that most people fail at that because there's so much freedom. There's nobody looking over your shoulder making sure you're getting shit done. It's all on you. And I think most people end up kind of struggling because they're not managing that time correctly and not breaking things out, not scheduling, because you don't have to show anybody your schedule. It's all you know? That's
right. Yeah. I hear that 100%. I mean, I think that a lot of people expect shit to just show up without doing any work. Like that's the real truth, right? A lot of people are like, oh, I'm a coach now. Let me put this in my bio. People are going to come buy my shit. No, they won't. Like, what are you offering? You know, or you like want to start an apparel brand or a supplement line or what is going to make you different than all the noise that's out there? How are you going to get your face seen? What are you going to do? And like for me, that's always been value, like offering as much value as I could. That's why I do all the YouTubes and the podcast and all this stuff. Like you too, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Like we do a lot of stuff that we don't per se need to do that offers free value to people.
Yeah.
Because then we're helping people spread, you know, we're getting more stuff out there, more knowledge, more empowering people to do what they want to do.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially like the YouTube, like I don't have a huge YouTube channel, but I've been trying to grow it over cause I've been trying to put more effort into it, you know?
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like, you're not getting that immediate return, you know? I'm not getting like I'm not getting a million subscribers tomorrow. Like it's a slow build. So it's like one of those things where you're throwing out value for people, but you're not immediately seeing a return. But in the end, it's going to end up paying dividends down the road.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm in the same boat there 100%. Like that's how I had to be with a lot of things that I had to build, because, you know, like it can be easy to go into spaces like this, any space really in the online market now, where you see people with 1 million followers, 2 million followers, 10 million. You're like, oh, well, shit.
Yeah.
You know, I'm down here trying to do this. What am I going to do? And a lot of people give up right there. But the truth is, if you produce, like, it's going to add up eventually. Yeah. It's going to come back, you know? And that's the thing.
It's the long game, man. It doesn't pay off right now, but it will, you know, because then down the road, somebody's going to see, damn, he's got 1,000 YouTube videos. And look at all this content there. Like, I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to hit this guy up. When I need a coach, I'm going to him, you know?
Yep, exactly. And that's how I've gotten a lot of people, honestly, like straight up from just random content. You know, like I do this segment on my Instagram story, which I call Rye Rants, which is where I'm like sitting there just yelling random shit. Like I'll see something that pisses me off on Instagram, like somebody doing like 4 hours of cardio or something with eating.
I was just listening to your one last night about the cardio.
Yeah, did I talk about it? Okay, good. Yeah. So like, you know, I'll do that. And like, I've got more clients from that stupid rant that like I plan nothing at all. I do nothing. I just press the button than anything else.
Yeah. It's the like relatability. Insane. It's the relatability factor, you know, like you're real there and you're just spitting some truth, you know? And I was like, when I was listening to that, I was like, fuck yes, he's 100% right. Cause I know this girl, and she was doing 3 hours of cardio a day. I think it was like 2 1.5 hour sessions, and I was just like, "You're totally fucked. Like, what are you doing? Your coach doesn't know shit."
Yeah, that's the thing, dude. Yeah, a lot of people haven't evolved. Like, if we even talk about the coaching style, it's crazy. That's actually why I became a prep coach. Like, my plan was not to come into the online space and coach competitors at all. Really? Like, I don't compete myself. I don't do any of that. But like I knew the real knowledge of like all the human anatomy and the function of metabolisms and, you know, nutrition and training and all this. And then I look at the shit that the contest prep coaches do, like the big name people in the industry and stuff. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with these people? Like, it's basically just a gamble where they sometimes produce decent results either based on drug use or on like overdoing everything. Like, oh, do 10 hours of cardio a day and eat fucking asparagus twice and you're good to go.
Yeah, right.
Like, and that's like the
4 ounces of chicken
form,
all day.
right? That's kind of like the general form for like how most people do prep. And I'm like, okay, for one, that's not sustainable. For two, that's extremely unhealthy. You're going to damage your hormone, your metabolism, like all kinds of shit that's going to last your lifetime. Your show is going to happen once, right? And so I was like, okay, this can be done far better. You don't have to rebound 30, 40 pounds in an off season from starving yourself for so long. And like, basically that's why I was like, I'm going to come into the space and try this out and see what I can do. And the rest is, you know, led from there.
Yeah. It's one of the dark sides of fitness that people don't really realize. They see the abs, they see the, you know, the veins on stage, but they don't realize like that person's incredibly unhealthy maybe, or
right.
that person's been struggling for the last 10 weeks doing, you know, countless hours of cardio, and as soon as the show's over, they're going up 30 pounds.
Right. That's the thing. Yeah, it's crazy, man. And it's worse now than ever because of the same reason we're talking about these Instagram bio coaches, right?
Yeah.
They damage people worse than anything else.
Oh yeah, easily. It's hard because on Instagram you're only showing like the good things. Like you're showing, oh, this is my client. That look at their abs, you know, perfect lighting and whatnot. And maybe they have a certification or something, but you know, certifications don't always mean everything. And just like the experience doesn't always mean anything. Like just because they did it once doesn't mean anything, you know. And I think that's a huge issue nowadays. And I wish there was more attention being brought to that, and like, because it's incredibly unhealthy. They're scamming people out of money. They're scamming people out of their health, and it's a dangerous road.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, that's my mission, 100%. My like long-term game plan is to change the way the contest prep is done forever.
Right.
Because like I do it where none of that shit happens.
Yeah.
By just basically, to me, it's common sense. But like to every other coach, prep coach, it would be like some kind of radical bullshit. You know what I mean? But like they're doing the same plans. They're basing stuff off of old shit that nobody's done since 1971. Like basically, I always talk about it. Arnold kind of wrote the contest prep, like the standard for contest prep, right? And he put that out in the bodybuilding Bible that came out in the 70s.
Oh yeah.
And like all those guys were just bro scientists, dude. Like there was no science. They were taking a ton of drugs they knew nothing about, like all these different things. And they're just sitting around trying to come up with things to do, like peak week and all that. Like all the peak week practices, from dehydrating to taking diuretics to further dehydrate to doing vodka shots to dry out and to like, you know, the crazy shit that you hear. And it's like, well, where did all that really stem from? And it all comes from right back there with these dudes sitting around a table, like just trying to guess their way to getting lean on stage.
Right. Not even factoring in genetics or you know, or training style or the gear like you were talking about. It's crazy. So do you have a set kind of diet that you go to predominantly for most of your clients, or are you kind of like all over the place, like keto, fasting?
Yeah. So basically what I do is flexible dieting for the most part, but like the compromisation of the macros will be different for each person. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But basically like flexible dieting, I haven't found anyone it doesn't work for yet. Like that's the thing. A lot of the diets that come around, I find them to be just repeated fads. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if you look at the history of a lot of the stuff that comes through, it's happened a bunch of times and it was used to just generate sales and buzz about a new weight loss diet or whatever.
Right.
But like flexible dieting, I think to me, it's the most beneficial form of eating in general because it's not necessarily like a diet. Yeah. A diet to me means it's short term, right? Like you're going to do it for 12 weeks. You're going to do it for a month or, you know, whatever. You're going to say you're going to do it in the new year and then drop it a month later. Like a diet has an ending. Like nutrition, flexible nutrition lasts forever. So that means to me that your results can be the same way, right? Like you can learn how to monitor your nutrition, how to pay attention to your stuff. And then you can learn balance. Like, and it doesn't mean that you have to track all the time. A lot of people get caught thinking they have to track everything. It becomes like OCD and all this crazy shit to where you're counting a rice kernel and shit. It's not about that. You know, it's about learning, okay, here's about what I need for my current goals in my body, right? I need to, if I want to burn fat, I want to be in a caloric deficit. So here's my macros. I need this much protein. I'm going to need this carbs, this fat. And once you do that a while, like you don't even need to track it as much. You know what you can eat. But I think the freedom to like, be able to go out and do stuff or like go to a restaurant or actually have like a dinner with your family every now and then. Like all these things make a huge difference for a lot of people. And I've seen, competitors do it. They say you can't do it. All the competitors I coach do it, and they do well. Like, it's crazy. They eat donuts and shit in peak week, and people say it can't be done. It's done. I got people that have come to me that said they were like at their last effort for trying to lose weight. They've been trying to lose the same 20 pounds for 20 years, whatever. Put them on a flexible dieting plan. They lose the weight. It's gone. Never comes back. Like, it's because it enables you to have balance. And balance is the key to long-term results. Like, if you go too hard in any one direction for any time, the rebound effect happens where the opposite will happen eventually. But if you learn how to balance that kind of circle out, like, here's what I need for training, here's what I need for nutrition, here's my lifestyle, and it all flows well, then you get results in the long term.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. You got to have that. You got to have that balance, and you see it a lot. The people who just get burnt out. Like a lot of competitors, at least when I was competing, they wouldn't go out like for the 16, 20 weeks or whatever they were competing for their show. You'd never see them. They disappear.
Right.
They'd be in the gym for an hour or two, and then you never see them ever again. And so it creates like that hermit lifestyle, and then you can only do that for so long before you just freak out or you have no friends and no relationship ever again. Yeah.
And that happens to so many people.
What do you think? Because if it fits your macros, gets kind of like a bad rap from some people, like some coaches.
Totally.
And what do you think the biggest reason for that is? People say like, oh, you can't have donuts, you can't have all this and still be able to lose weight. What do you think the biggest reasoning behind that is? Like, just ignorance, just like not knowing about what calories are, and I don't know.
Yeah, so it seems to me it's like two types of people that will do that. Two types of people that are against it. It's either a coach or a trainer that's like so stuck in the old meal plan, chicken, broccoli, and rice shit like 6 times a day, or their clients. Like, those are the two types of people, right? So I think it comes from not understanding the actual science behind nutrition in the first place. Like, I think a lot of people get stuck in a certain way. A lot of trainers especially will have one method they want to use, and then their clients will follow that. And what ends up happening to a lot of clients, as they have trainers, is they take what they say as like religion, right? Like, they follow it to a T because they've trusted you, they've paid you, they've done whatever, and now you're going to lead them there. So in a lot of ways, I think it's almost like just for that fact that they're not even willing to see another opportunity, like another idea as to what could actually be. Because like I said, I mean, I've never found anybody hasn't worked for if they've tried it. Like, and I've given it to so many different people. It's crazy. Different types of people, from like all kinds of actual real health issues to like competitors and fat loss, muscle building, whatever. It works for everybody because it's not really a diet. It's actually like you learning how to get your own shit together. That's really what it comes down to. And so I think the bad rep comes a lot from just lack of people understanding that there's other ways to do things.
Yeah, I think there definitely there's just so much knowledge out there and so easily accessible, and it's not always good knowledge. Like, you can go on and it's a lot of contradictory knowledge too, like especially with studies and whatnot, like, oh, you got to go vegan or you're not going to be healthy, or you got to go, high protein, no fats, so I think there's just so much out there, and people don't know which way to go in terms of that. They just see it and they take it as gospel, and then, oh wait, there's another study over here, and it's like, oh shit, I'm gonna stick with the original.
Yeah.
And it would help, I think, a lot if people, especially in the school systems, if there was a little bit more knowledge being dropped in terms of nutrition classes on the way up.
Oh yeah, dude, that's crazy. Yeah, like, there's nothing in schools, right?
Right. No,
nothing.
Especially back when I was in school, but even nowadays, like my girlfriend teaches health and physical education at a high school.
Yeah.
And she was telling me about kind of like the nutrition classes that they have set up, and it's like, there's nothing. You're not learning anything really. Like, but that's her, what she's trying to do, is she's trying to push for more of that in schools and kind of like teaching about, like, because that would help alleviate all this down the road. Yeah,
when I was in high school, I was actually obese, so
really,
I know exactly what you're doing. Yeah, dude. So like, because here's what they served at lunch at my high school, right? Fucking nacho cheese and tater tots. Not even joking.
That sounds solid to me.
Right?
I'm on board.
Like, you could get another. I know, right? It sounds good. But like, you could get another thing of cheese for 50 cents extra or something, or a cookie if you wanted it for dessert. Like that was the fucking nutrition at school.
Wow.
And so, you know, like I'm not going to blame it on that, but there was definitely no knowledge about what to eat. It was interesting, you know, and I ended up obese in high school from eating a bunch of shit basically because I didn't understand the difference.
Yeah, you just assumed food's food, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like almost thinking about it now, it's like, why the hell would they give it to you if you shouldn't eat it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
how obese are we talking here, man?
so I was not working out ever. Like I had not worked out, and I was like 280 pounds, 275 pounds.
Wow. How tall are you?
And like a kid. What?
How tall were you at the time?
I don't even know how tall I was, dude, but like I was 100% fat.
Oh,
like my
man.
body fat test was like, it was like 39% body fat or higher.
Wow.
I can't even remember. And like that was in like PE or whatever, you know, PE back then, which was not crazy, but you know, so that was kind of a different time.
So what sparked kind of like the fitness journey then? Like,
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess it was like that same exact thing. It was like understanding, okay, there's something wrong with this.
Right.
Like when I was testing 39% body fat and all my classmates are there and nobody's at that level,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, something weird's going on right here, you know? Like, cause I swear that's like one thing that I will say is almost like overnight, as funny as that sounds, you know, like I'm not talking about overnight success or whatever, but like, I think you can get unhealthy almost overnight because you don't realize the shit that you're doing a little bit here and there is going to end result in you being real fucked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
and
yeah.
like that's how it was for me, right? Because like an extra tater tot here or there, or fucking Taco Bell here, Burger King there, like that added up over time to waking up one day and be like, who the hell is this dude?
Right.
275 pounds, can't run a fucking quarter of a mile. Like I'm trying to do these weight training classes and I can't do I don't understand any of this. Why don't I know about this? Why don't I know about that? Is this the right way?
Yeah.
And so then, like me, the way I am, I just dive into trying to learn as much shit as I can about things. And then I figured out all that was obviously not good. I'm like, okay, I'm extremely overweight. I'm actually like morbidly obese at the time by the standards of whatever, you know, charts and shit. And I don't understand nutrition because I'm eating Burger King and Taco Bell and tater tots. I don't know how to do any weight training at this point in my life. I'm like, what the hell are weights? What do they do? Why do I even care? You know, like, and I can't run for shit. So, you know, all the physical tests I was not making up, even in school, when the physical tests are not demanding, right? Like, they're just a small standard of, like, general health.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that was like, okay, I got to figure this out. And that's kind of what stemmed it all.
Right on. So what? How long did it take you to lose that weight?
Yeah, so I lost, like, almost 100. I lost 90 pounds in, like, 6 to 8 months.
Wow.
And it was like simple shit. It was not hard. Like I think back to that, I'm like, shit, everything I do every day now is so much harder than that. You know what I mean? But like, it was like really just getting basic knowledge.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't change anything crazy. Like I started doing a little bit of workout. I remember like trying to go do some running or something in my parents' garage. There was like a treadmill in there. It was all stuffed in the corner, a bunch of shit. And I turned this thing on and like I tried to run. And I felt it was like at, you know, walking pace, like a 3.5 or a 4 or whatever, right. Like something you would walk on a treadmill at. I'm trying to run. And it felt like I was there for like an hour, I swear, dude. Like I was like dying. I was breathing heavy. I was like losing my mind. Like, what the hell is this? And it was like 4 minutes. I collapsed. Yeah. Done. Like that was where I started. Legit. That was my level of health. Like 4 minutes on a treadmill at speed 3.5, dying, didn't know anything. And I was like, okay. Got to start addressing it. So I started doing small, minute changes. It was like, tomorrow I'm going to try for 4.3.
Right.
4 minutes, 30 seconds. Next day I'm going to do 5. Next day I'm going to go for 10. I'm going to keep building this up. So I started running, getting better at that. And then I was like, okay, this isn't the end game though, because I'm doing research, I'm studying. I got to learn how to weight train. I got to learn how to lift. I got to understand what that's going to do and why that's beneficial to my body. And, you know, and so basically started just doing workouts, doing a little bit of training. My nutrition didn't drastically change, to be honest. Like, I just got better understanding of it is really what it was. It was like, okay, this burger at Burger King is actually 2,000 fucking calories when that's all I can eat.
Yeah.
So no wonder that I'm this much because I've been eating 2 of those a day, you know, like, and that was the kind of thing that enabled it to where, okay, I got to eat more frequently. I got to make better choices. I got to get like some apples and carrots up and shit, you know what I mean? And that's what led to it, man. It was like super simple little tweaks led to massive results because basically, I was blind to it before that.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. I can't imagine losing that much weight. That's like a small person right there that you just.
I know, right? Body. Yeah, I mean, since then I built back up. Like I got down to like 185 or so, I think. But like that was before I really dug into weights.
Right.
And then after that, I built up. I'm like 210, 220 on most days now.
Right.
But like, you know, it's a totally different body.
It's a good 210 compared to the 210 that maybe you were at on your way down.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, dude. It's totally different. It's just crazy to think. Like, and I see that a lot actually in a lot of clients. A lot of the hopeless kind of clients that come to me or whatever, like tried everything, did everything. It only takes doing the right thing a little bit better. Like that's really all it takes. It's amazing to think like if you shift the needle just one little minute fraction of direction, it ends in a totally different like arena at the end.
Yeah. I've noticed that too over the years as doing the training and whatnot. Is it's not always you don't always need to make a drastic, huge lifestyle change, and a lot of the times that's not the right way because it becomes too overwhelming and you can't stick with it over the long term.
Yep.
You know, it's those small little changes, the daily little adjustments. You know, I'm not going to have this soda. I'm only going to have one soda today instead of this whole 6-pack or whatever. Like those smaller changes.
That's exactly it.
And then gradually you're making that drastic lifestyle change over an extended period of time. But it's not always, and I think a lot of people get like turned off and scared because they think, oh, I have to make this huge lifestyle change. I have to throw away all the junk food in my fridge. I have to, you know, start working out 3 hours a day. It's a much smaller. So I'm glad you brought that up because that's huge.
And I think to add to that, like the other part is that it can be way too intimidating to look at the long term.
Exactly.
Like you can't look too far. Like if I was right there and I knew I had to lose like 90 pounds, right, to be decently healthy. Like if I looked at that shit and was like, damn, there's no way.
No.
I wouldn't have ever got on the treadmill. I would have said, all right, it is what it is then. I'm going to keep going. Like that's what most people do.
Yeah.
But instead it's like, what can I do today? Like that's what I always tell my clients. I'm like, don't think about your contest prep in 12 weeks. Don't think about your weight loss goal that you need for summer. Don't think about building muscle or getting this lift by that time. Think about what are you doing today to get closer to that, because that's all that matters. If we do that every single day, then we're going to be there, because, you know, like we can't dictate the past. Past done. It's the way it is, concrete. Future, we can only imagine what that's going to be. But today we own that shit and we control what we do. In this moment, it's going to shape where we end up. And so I think exactly what you said, it's the daily little things, man. It's like, how do you be better today than you were yesterday?
100%. That's the way. And it's the same way with business, you know, like what can I do differently today? What can I improve on today? You know, instead of thinking about, I want to be a multi-million-dollar business, you know, next couple years down the road, it's what can I do to, you know, further improve and get closer to that. And so like it's like what you're talking about earlier, doing like the YouTube videos or the Facebook posts or whatever, or a little blog article here and there. It's all compounding for down the road.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's what I used to say. I used to say that, you know, fitness taught me tools for life. That's really what it was. It wasn't even just fitness. It's not like losing weight. It's like if you actually stick to a fitness regimen, no matter who you are, what you're doing, you're learning shit you can apply everywhere.
Exactly. And I think, and that's when I see somebody that's maybe not, that doesn't exercise or doesn't work out, I'm thinking you're missing out on, it's not even the health aspect of it, but you're missing out on like those little lessons, the discipline, the work ethic, the goal setting, the accomplishing a goal. You know, I think that's huge for people too, in terms of, you know, the overall confidence of going into your day is, you know, if you can accomplish like one goal, it just changes your whole life. You know, it changes that whole outlook on the day. And so it just snowballs. And so something as simple as going to the gym for an hour, you know, I'm going to go to the gym for an hour. You're accomplished, and that sets the tone for the rest of the day.
Yep. 100%, man. That's it. Right on. That's why I go to the gym for still.
Man, I don't know how you do that, dude. That's ridiculous to me. I can't even comprehend. I've done it a few times. I did it when I was doing some personal training. I would work out at 5 a.m. and it's just like, no.
What time do you work out?
I prefer afternoons or evenings. Like I'll work out late at night after I get everything done, but because I like to just be able to take my time and kind of not feel rushed. So I like to get everything that I need to get done out of the way, and then I'll work out after. Maybe not always the best move, but it works for me so far.
That's the key, man. That's the other piece. Like, it doesn't matter. There's no right way, right? It's just whatever works.
Exactly.
And that's the same with nutrition, training, all that, you know?
What you can stick to consistently.
That's it. Yeah. And that's going to produce result no matter what every time.
Yeah, 100%. So let's change gears a little bit. What's this whole 6-figure coach thing? Because you got the online personal training business. What's that all about? Yeah,
6-figure fit coach. So that's a new business I started a few months back, basically dedicated towards helping people get online training going.
Yeah.
Like consulting for them, in other words, because like I was telling you, everything that I already said about training in general, way of the future, like people are going to succeed or they're not. Like, you know, all those things are important to me because we look at these two extremes, right? You were talking about how competitors are like actually some of the most unhealthy people, right? Then we got all the fucking world that's not doing anything that are extremely unhealthy people. And then there's a bunch of people in between that's going to either be able to help that or hurt that. And so, like, the people in between, though, are the trainers. And those people will die out in the next few years in gyms. So even if you're really good and you know your shit and you don't know how to run an online training business, you're like, you can't help anybody. Yeah. And, like, it was me basically sitting there like, okay, I've tried the system. I've ran the system. It's working. I can do this worldwide, but I can't take on fucking 8 billion people. Right. So, like, what am I going to do? How am I going to continue to add value? How am I going to make a shift and actually get, like, an impact going in this industry? Is to train other people on how to do similar stuff, right? So I made that business to teach people how to basically be successful in an online training business.
Makes sense. So how does that work? More like seminar type stuff, or are you doing one-on-one?
Yeah, I'm doing one-on-one for now because I'm keeping it fairly small, like only taking a few people in at a time. It's like a 6-month program basically. So it's like 6 months of going through consultations, like building the business out, all the pieces. Because like I was saying, I did years of this, trial and error. Like I can streamline people much faster than that now. You know, like I know all the steps to take and all the ones not to take. And you don't have to recover from the ones that you shouldn't take. Like all these different things. So now I can get people in, give them the right stuff, tell them what they need to do, and help them get set on their own path to being successful in the online training business. Because it is hard to do. I don't think many people know how to do it. I don't think many people, even if they're good trainers, know how to run a business, or if they're good at business, they know how to train. And so it was like, how do we blend these two things together? Because if I can create people, I can help create people that, you know, can manage hundreds of clients or take hundreds of more people, then we can actually get some shit going. You know what I mean?
Take over the industry kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the goal, man.
World domination, that's the end goal, huh?
Yeah, I mean, well, shit, like my goal, like if we're talking business goals, my goals are always fucking massive. So like my goal is to be, in the end of this, the only go-to for online training. Like if someone wants to go online training, they're only going to think of my business, my team. Like those are the people that are the standard. There'll be other people in the game, obviously, but that's the standard of expectation. Because like that's really what I aim to do anyway, is to get rid of the bullshit, get rid of the scams, get rid of the garbage, and give people real results, real coaching, and set a new standard for how things should be done.
Sounds fucking good to me, man. That's, I mean, the more healthy people that, you know, are knowledgeable out there, the better, you know?
That's what I mean. Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome, man. So how long you been doing that consultation business?
That's been going probably about like 4, I don't even know what month it is. Hold up. My birthday's like this week. I think it's been going for maybe 4 or 5 months.
Right on.
Yeah. I mean, it was in the brain a long time. I just never thought to like really roll it out yet, you know?
Yeah.
It's still like very soft launch. What I'd like to do is actually get a course that people can go through on their own. Yeah. Like put together with videos, you know, and all this kind of stuff, and have people go through it.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah. Do you think you like that more, or you like the training aspect of actually training people and helping them lose weight, or you like the coaching other trainer kind of thing more?
I think I'm growing towards the coaching other trainers more.
Yeah.
Like for sure. Because I like the business side of everything. I like actually building things and seeing them grow, you know, doing all that. And I can do that with clients and results and all that. But that again has a cap.
Right.
Versus like, there's no cap in how many coaches I can produce and what they can do. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if I can help people get on track, do the right stuff, it's crazy to think what's actually possible.
Yeah. See, the overall effect of having all those people kind of under your umbrella and what they can do.
Yeah.
That could be potentially huge. Yeah. That's awesome, man. Do you have a background? Like, do you come from like a family of like entrepreneurs and people like, or are you like the first one?
Yeah, no, I'm basically the first one, I guess, man. Yeah. I mean, My dad's a police officer. My mom was a stay-at-home mom.
Right on.
And that's kind of the story.
Yeah.
And so I didn't get, I always say that my parents raised me the best because they never told me what to do.
Right.
Like they did, but they didn't. Like I was never told. I used to play in a death metal band in high school and like all kinds of shit. Like I used to tour around and do that. Like, you know what I mean? There's typical stuff that most parents would be like, no, dude, you're not doing that.
Yeah, right.
But my parents never did that. So like that was the greatest asset to me for my parents was the fact that like they basically said, I don't know if they supported it, but they were like, whatever, dude, you're doing what you're doing, you know? And that led me to being able to do kind of everything I did because I guess I never got stuck into believing that it was only one way. Like I had a lot of friends, you know, growing up that were told you got to do this, you got to do that, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And like, you know, that's the way they were, but I never was that way. So, but yeah, my family doesn't have business. They don't have other businesses. They're not, you know, kind of rolling that way. So
yeah, but
it's an interesting thought.
The way they raised you though is it definitely lends itself to, you know, going out there and creating, you know, your own idea, your own business, and kind of launching that. So no, that's a great way, you know, because as soon as you start putting restrictions on people, it kind of leads them down a certain path that maybe they wouldn't have chosen if they didn't want to.
Yeah, 100%.
That's awesome, man. Though this has been cool, dude. So before we go though, what was the name of the metal band?
Exylum. EXYLUM.
What were you playing?
You listen to metal?
No, I don't listen.
Yeah. Guitar, man. Yeah,
Guitar?
check this shit out. Oh, you can see it, but they probably can't.
Oh, dope.
I still got tons of guitars on my wall here.
So you still play a lot?
Nah, man. Like I used to play probably 5-6 hours a day back then.
Yeah.
Now I play probably about 5-6 minutes a year. Like
just no time.
You know,
huh?
it's crazy. Yeah. I mean, I guess my focus just changed.
Yeah. That's awesome though, man.
Yeah, man.
That's part of life, you know. You're into something, and then maybe you're not always into that. So, how about we do a quick little rapid fire thing, so people can get a little bit of knowledge into who you are.
Cool.
I'll just shoot out some random questions. We'll go quick. Favorite training music?
Audiobooks.
Right on. So you're listening to audiobooks when you're lifting?
When I train, yeah, I don't listen to music. That's the crazy thing. People are always mind blown by that, but because like I played in a band and shit.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm always learning shit while I'm training. I'm not talking about like fucking Lord of the Rings or something. Like I'm listening to, you know, something that's gonna elevate me in one area of my life or another.
All right. On that note, then, one audiobook you would recommend for people to check out?
10X Rule.
10X Rule. Yeah, that's a good one. Favorite cheat meal? No macros. You're not counting any of it.
That's right. No macros. I would have to say one of the buffets in Vegas, dude. Like I get it all when I go. It's not one thing. I'm getting the sliders, pizza, you know, all this shit.
Just full send.
That's right.
Right on. All right. One thing off your bucket list.
Bucket list. That's an interesting question. I don't even know what I would say to that. Bucket list. Like, what does that even mean? Something I want to do eventually?
Something that you want to accomplish that before you die. What's one thing that you want to accomplish or go or see or do before you?
Yeah, shit.
It's a deep one. I know.
Damn, dude. Tell me something off your bucket list first.
Let's see. I want to go to the Blue Lagoon in Iceland.
No shit. See, look, you have I gotta make a bucket
I got a whole
list,
dude. I got like 100 things on there. And my
do
goal.
You?
Yeah,
Shit.
I got 100
I'm
things
gonna
on
write this down, dude. I'm gonna do this.
And it's business stuff, it's fitness stuff, it's travel goals, it's experiences. And my goal is to cross off at least 3 every year. It's gonna take me a long fucking year.
You have like a whole process.
Yeah.
I dig that. All right, I'm doing that, dude. So my bucket list is to make a bucket list.
There you go. Right on. And then you can cross that shit off. And boom,
that's right.
Goal accomplished.
Momentum, dude.
Right? Fuck, man. This was awesome, dude. We got to do this again. And the next time I'm in Vegas, I got to for sure hit you up.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah. I mean, anytime. I'm down to do these anytime. Okay, I can come out to your place.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Check it out.
Yeah, you got them out. It's a little bit of a hike, but it's only like an hour flight. So, yeah, definitely got to get you out here one of these days.
Right on, man. Thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, for sure. Drop some social media or website you want people to check out so they can find you.
Yeah. So my website and all my coaching stuff and like just more info about it in general. A lot of free shit too. Like you don't have to pay me for many of the things that I put out is on teamflex.com. There's 2 F's, teamfflex.com. My Instagram's at Team Flex same. And then I'm Functional Flex Fitness on YouTube, which was my old name before I was kind of formed into this new one. And then everything else is Team Flex. So
right on. And I'll throw that in the show notes and stuff so
appreciate
people can find that. Right on, dude. Well, Ryan, this was fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
All right, brother. We'll catch up later.
Sounds good.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Whew. That was a good one. There's a lot of cool info in there. Ryan's a really cool dude. I enjoyed that a lot. There was a ton of info in there. Some great takeaways. He's got a great outlook and some really solid advice for people. And, I think I agree with him 100%. I think the online training is like the way of the future, and having worked in the fitness industry for the last, 10 years as a personal trainer, as a strength and conditioning coach, I totally agree with where he's going. There's so much info out there and people want their info right away. It makes sense that everything's going to start moving online. Anyway, there was a ton of great info there. Hopefully you guys liked it. If you did, please leave a thumbs up, leave a 5-star review, leave a comment. It really helps the podcast grow. It helps it spread. It helps it pop up on some lists so new subscribers can check it out. And I think it was great. I'm going to throw all of Ryan's social media info in the show notes and reach all his pages through his Instagram, Team Flex, Team FFlex on Instagram. You can reach all his other social media platforms through there, but I'm going to throw all his social media in the show notes, so check him out. Hopefully you guys like this podcast. If you guys have any suggestions on guests that you'd like to see or people you'd like to see on this in the future, I got a bunch of people on a list coming through. But if there's somebody in particular that maybe you really want to see, shoot me a DM, shoot me a comment on Instagram or YouTube or wherever. Shoot me a comment, shoot me a DM. Let me know, because I want to appeal to the audience. I want to get people that you guys want to listen to, as well as people I want to talk to. So shoot me a DM, shoot me a comment. Let me know. Check out gunsmithbrand.com. We got a bunch of cool stuff on the site right now. And if you use code SHOW on the site, it'll give you a little bit of a discount. So anyway, appreciate you guys for listening. I will talk to you guys next week. You guys are awesome. Stay savage, my friends. Peace.